late! I'm late for a very important date. I'm late for a very important date. That's right, it's the Champions League quarterfinals, and I'm bloody late. The second legs are just around the corner, where we're going to say goodbye to 4 clubs, but hello to the rest. Who's going to go through? Who's going to go home? We'll get into it next. That's right, good game with another production video. Today we're taking a look at the quarterfinals, second legs in this year's Champions League. Of course, who's going to go through, who's going to go home, we'll get into it, all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, you know who you are. And again, if you're new, where the hell have you been, boys and girls? Of course, it is squeaky bomb time for the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern, Arsenal, PSG, all trying to get themselves back into the contention here as they get closer to those second quarterfinals legs, of course. Who's going to go through, who will go home? It ain't long to find out. So we're going to get cracking in just a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But wherever you are, smash your like it, of course. Anyway, let's get cracking and, of course, recap where we left you in those first legs. Of course, starting with Real Madrid against Man City. Boy, oh boy, what a game that was. 3-3 final score. I went with a 2-1 win for Real Madrid. It looked on the cards at one stage, but, of course, goal fest, 6 goals in it. Advantage Manchester City, you would imagine, heading it back to England for this one. Meanwhile, Arsenal 2-2 draw against Bayern, another thriller over at London. I went with the 1-1 draw, so 4 points for that one. Ain't too shabby, and again, advantage you would say Bayern for this one as it goes to the Allianz Arena in the second legs. Then we have PS Bloody G up against Barcelona on the games, or the day where we anticipated a bit of a downgrade in games, but no, it was yet another thriller. This time over in over in La France, of course. I went with a 0-0 draw. It was a 3-2 win for Barcelona on the road. They, of course, got 1 foot in that semi-finals, where they are likely to be taking on a fellow Spanish teammates or league mates. Atletico Madrid with a 2-1 win for them over in Madrid after my prediction of a 1-0 win, which I got pretty much close to the money, if not spot on with my double booster there. 8 points for me on that one. So there we have it. The, of course, first legs are in the bags, but nobody really has a massive step or advantage heading into the second legs. But what about my own prediction league? We'll have a little look at it coming at you right now. And it is Thomas NG with 21 points for this past week. Blaisos with 16. Vincent up there alongside with 16. Then Ferry 77. The chasing pack as well. I'm now down there at 12. And of course, I gave it to him. Gave it to him in the end. The overall leaderboard, though, it looks like this. Ferry 77 remains top of the charts there. In fact, he might be newly to number 1 there. 405 points total. Nico ZT down, of course, to number 2. Thomas NG, Tommy NG up there. 381 for him. He's up a little bit as well to number 3. So a bit of a shake-up in the top 5 there. I don't really care about myself because that's pretty much over for me. But next year, boys, next bloody year, of course. So those are the situations we have ourselves in the league. But what about, of course, those illustrious second legs? So we're going to get jumping into the deep end. I think right about now, if I can scooch on over, we're going to jump on over right now and have a look at the of course, the final 4 matches of the Champions League quarterfinals. So let's get cracking. Alrighty then, folks, here we go with those illustrious second legs of those quarterfinals. We're going to start with the game over in Dortmund. Of course, currently, Atletico Madrid with that 2-1 upper hand advantage from that first leg over in Spain. Now, this one will take place at the Segundo Indunda Park. Of course, with Dortmund, got all the work to do, but not out of the woods just yet. They have played each other now 3 times since 2018. Now, 1 win for Dortmund, 2 for Atletico Madrid. There's yet to be a draw between the two sides. Dortmund, though, did come into this on the back of a win over Mönchengladbach, of course, in the Borussia Derby this past weekend. So the tails are up. They're on 67% form for them right now at the moment, as winning 4 and losing just the 2. Up against Atletico Madrid, also on 67% form for them right now, winning 3 on the bounce, of course. Also including a win on the weekend against Girona, of course, who are trying to compete for one of those top 4 spots. And now the bubble seems to have burst on this one. Quick situation between these two sides. Last time they played each other at Dortmund, though, it was a 4-0 win for Borussia way back in October 2018. That would be enough for, of course, the German juggernauts to go through to that semi-finals. A quick look at the odds here. 6-5 is your Dortmund for this game, man. This is the odds for this match. 6-5, of course. 13-5 is your Atletico Madrid, and 21-10 is, of course, your away side. That is Atletico. Currently, we've got the odds of Dortmund. They are the unfancied underdogs here. 33-1 to go the distance to lift the trophy. We've got Atletico Madrid at 10-1 to lift the trophy. They're not far away. They are, 5th, 6th favourites to go the distance as well. But for me on this one, I don't know. I think it might end up being a draw. I'm going with the popular vote here. 1-1 on this one, which is going to be enough for Atletico to Madrid to go through to a Champions League semi-final where they'll take on the winner of this one, Barcelona against PSG. Of course, it's probably, you would think, could it be the game of the day? I don't know. It's a difficult one to call here, but I'll probably be watching the Dortmund one because I think it's got a little bit more likely to be a longer, more adventurous affair. Anyway, this one will take place at a Stadio Olympic Luis Companys, of course, with Barcelona on red-hot form right now. 100% form for them right now, up against the PSG side on 75% form for them at the moment. Of course, they have played each other 12 times over the course of the recent 12 years. 6 wins for Barcelona, just 3 wins for PSG. 3 draws, of course. The biggest win for Barcelona was a 6-1 win, scoring 30 goals in those 12 matches. 2.50 goals a game on average. 4-0 win, the biggest for PSG, scoring 23 goals in those 12 matches. 1.92 goals a game on average. Like I said, Barcelona 6 wins on the bounce, but they haven't, in fact, lost in the last 12 matches against the PSG side, coming into on back-to-back games without a win. Of course, PSG, their most recent match was that loss against Barcelona. Of course, they also picked up a draw against Clermont Foot most recently. So they are saving themselves for this game. Meanwhile, Barcelona did take on Cadiz this past weekend, pick up a win, 1-0 win for them over in La Liga. Of course, last time they played each other over in the Camp Nou or in Barcelona, it was a 4-1 win for PSG. Of course, goodness gracious me, can they do that? And if they did just that, they would, of course, go through to those semi-finals. The odds for this, 6-5 is your Barcelona, 2-1 is your PSG, 14-5, of course, is your draw on this one. The odds for these two sides here, we've got PSG 14-1 to lift the trophy at the end of the campaign, 6-1 your Barcelona. They are third favourites, of course, at that moment. But I think I'm going to back Barcelona here with a 2-0 win over PSG, which again will boost their goal difference, aggregate scoreline, and go through to set up that all-Spanish affair against Atletico Madrid in my eyes. Then we switch over to Wednesday, where it's, of course, Bayern up against Arsenal, of course, all square after the first leg over in London. Now these two sides will play at the Allianz Arena on the 17th of April. That's right, played each other 13 times over the years since 2005, 6 wins for Bayern, 5 wins for Arsenal. We've got 2 draws, of course. Bayern, 5-1 win, their biggest, scoring 30 goals in those 13 matches, 2.31 goals a game on average. Arsenal, though, 2-0 win, their biggest, scoring 19 goals in those 13 matches, 1.46 goals a game on average. Bayern, though, just 1 win in the last 4 games. They did pick up a win this past week end over in the Bundesliga, where they 2-0 win over Köln. It was not enough to stop Bayer Leverkusen becoming champions of Germany. Of course, dethroning Bayern for the first time in what's over a decade and some. Meanwhile, Arsenal, a bit of a slump in form at the moment. Back-to-back games now without a win. 67% form for them right now. And of course, last time they played each other over in Germany, it was in competitive action. It was a 5-1 win for Bayern back in the round of 16 in the Champions League back in February 2017. Of course, Arsenal on the back of that 2-0 loss at home to Aston Villa. Good evening. That's right, of course. The quick look at the odds then. We have 11-8 is your Bayern here, 13-5 is your 9-5, of course, is your Arsenal. Arsenal are second favourites behind Man City, 6-1 to go the distance. Bayern, believe it or not, are 7-1, fourth favourites at that moment. But I think at home, Bayern are going to raise their game here. I think they're going to destroy Arsenal here, 2-0 win to go through. And I'm already going to back my booster on that one. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play the booster, and they'll, of course, seal the deal in my eyes. And then we wrap it all up with, of course, the last game, which is probably the most exciting for everybody. The neutrals here is moneybags or whatever you want to call them, cheat codes. Man City up against Real Madrid, of course, forever winners of the Champions League. Played each other 13 times in 2012. We've got 5 wins to City, 4 wins to Real Madrid, 4 draws, of course. City now 4-0 win, their biggest, scoring 25 goals in those 13 matches, 1.9 1.92 goals a game on average. Real Madrid, though, 4-1 win the biggest, scoring 22 goals in 13 matches, 1.69 goals a game on average. Both sides on 83% form for them right now. That's winning 5, actually winning 4 of the last 6. Identical form. They've, of course, coming into this on the back of a win this past weekend. Real Madrid have not lost in the last 14 matches. City, though, have not lost any of the last 27 games, of course. And the last time they played each other over at the Etihad, it was a 4-0 win for City way back in the semi-final stage, back in May 2023. Madrid with a 1-0 win over Mallorca this weekend. City with a 5-1 win over Luton Town. The odds for this one, Man City are 20-13 on red hot favourites. 16-5 is the draw. 50-4 is, of course, your away win. The future predictions for these Real Madrid are 7-1, fifth favourites at the moment, with Man City overwhelming favourites, 13-8 to lift the trophy at the moment. I believe in, I don't like to say this, but it is a miracle. I believe in miracles, and I do believe that Real Madrid will go through here. I don't know how they're going to do it, whether it's going to be a draw after full time, even 90 minutes, and maybe even penalties, but I think they're going to nick it. So I'm going to put a 2-1 win for Real Madrid to edge it, knock out Man City, put a bubble in their season, or burst their season a little bit, and of course give Real Madrid another chance to edge closer to another title in the Champions League. But that is my picks, guys and girls and girls. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you smash the like, and of course catch me later for those semi-final picks nice and early whenever they come out. But until then, we're done.